Well, let's talk about the All Progressives Congress, which is in the eye of the storm for selling its presidential nomination and expression of interest forms for 100 million naira, while the PDP puts its presidential form at 40 million naira. Even though the ruling party slashed its own by 50% for presidential aspirants under 40 years, what does this portend, or what do these portend?
Well, I am against selling nomination forms for even as high as 40 million. People have said, oh, we want to separate the boys from the men. I do not agree. There are ways by which you can separate the boys from the men. There are shadow elections that can take place that you can actually use, caucus elections, shadow elections that you can use to arrive at aspirants and then eventually candidates of your party. I'm not talking about consensus now. I'm talking about shadow elections where people can actually test their popularity. But telling us that you want young people to get involved in governance while you make the nomination form so expensive, that means you have monetized democracy. You have made money the centerpiece of our politics. You have shut out capable people who may not be rich. Because what we are now saying, what the APC is saying is indirectly, without knowing it, is that, look, only people who are rich or whose friends are rich are good enough to contest for the presidential ticket of the party. For APC that came with the mantra of change, I think that change should mean refusing to do those things that the PDP were doing, for which they were condemned. Trying to copy the PDP does not mean change in any way. You've got to depart from the path that the PDP told. If you continue to ape the PDP and you are doing exactly what they are doing, then you are endangering the popularity of the party with the ordinary Nigerians. And Nigerians will think that, look, if they cannot raise money to contest for these elective positions because it has become for the money bag, then it is not everyone's party. I've had some APC leaders say, look, the party belongs to the people. But how many people can afford 100 million in today's difficult Nigeria? So effectively, many people, an overwhelming majority of our people who may be capable and in fact be more capable than some of the people contesting are going to be shut out because the major challenge will be for them to raise this money. How do they get to raise this money? It's not the nomination form of a political party should not constitute a bazaar. It should not be so priced in a manner that the ordinary people cannot will not be able to buy it. When in 2014, President Buhari complained that 27 million was too much, and that he, as a former president or a former head of state, will not be able to raise 27 million. We thought that that under his leadership of the party, under him as the leader of the party, that incrementally the nomination form of the APC, the presidential nomination form of the APC will, in terms of the price, will begin to go down. But what are we seeing? A 370% increase in the cost of the form can certainly not be encouraged. And even for the PDP, who are selling theirs at 40 million, I also think that 40 million is way too high. The only good thing is that it appears that the biggest opposition party in the land has ensured that theirs is not as expensive as that of the APC.
All right.